Floyd Mayweather's gonna live his life like he wanna live it.
Why does it always come to money?
Why not? I mean, everything you got on costs money. Everything you do costs money.
Is that how you measure your success?
No, money don't make me, I make money.
It's the year 2026, and the world of combat sports is staring at a mystery that refuses to make sense. Why is the wealthiest boxer in human history still acting like he's one paycheck away from a crisis? We are talking about Floyd "Money" Mayweather, a man who redefined the sport, walked away with a pristine 50-0 record, and supposedly built an empire worth over $1.2 billion. For most people, that kind of success means you disappear into a life of luxury and total silence. But for Floyd, the hustle in 2026 feels faster, louder, and more frantic.
He's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever.
You know, I've been had money thrown at me from so many different countries, 9 figures. I made tons of money. You know, that's why the nickname is, you know, Floyd "Money" Mayweather.
The contrast between his public image and his 2026 reality is jarring. A retired billionaire should be shielded by massive long-term investments, living far away from the cameras and the physical risks of the ring. Yet, Mayweather doesn't look like a man resting on his laurels. He looks like a man in constant motion, still chasing attention and acting as if slowing down isn't an option. This isn't just about staying active, it's about a man who seems to be vibrating with a specific kind of urgency that only comes when the numbers on the screen don't match the lifestyle in the driveway.
59-year-old heavyweight legend Mike Tyson will fight Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition.
I was minding my business. He challenged me.
Look at the schedule he's trying to maintain. Reports have surfaced linking him to a surreal exhibition match with a 59-year-old Mike Tyson in the Democratic Republic of Congo. At the same time, there are rumors of a bizarre event in Athens against a 45-year-old retired kickboxer. And then, there's the ultimate break glass in case of emergency move, a professional rematch with Manny Pacquiao at the Sphere in Las Vegas. If this were a victory lap, it would be one thing. But when these strange, high-risk, low-glory events
Aiming them when in fact it's really you. Maybe you should go to them to get some lessons.
It's a spending issue, not an income.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right.
He is fucking broke, huh? They
Like,
call him Money Mayweather.
Bro,
where's your money?
He's walking around in
Then there is the legal battlefield, which is perhaps even more dangerous than the ring. In February 2026, Mayweather reportedly launched a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime. He claims he was financially wronged, alleging that his career earnings were mishandled and that he is owed a king's ransom. When a man is simultaneously trying to book freak show exhibitions and suing his long-term partners for hundreds of millions of dollars, the public perception shifts instantly. You stop seeing a confident mogul and start seeing a man under immense pressure.
It's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes. He's got to have those videos where it shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money, you gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and latest car and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
To truly understand the Mayweather paradox, you have to separate career earnings from liquid wealth. The public hears the phrase over $1 billion and assumes Floyd has a vault full of cash. But the reality of sports finance is brutal. Gross income over 20 years is a ghost. The massive fight purses stop the second you stop punching, but the overhead of a billionaire lifestyle is a permanent living entity. For Floyd, those bills were never ordinary. He built an identity on being.
Look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap. Just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing.
The burn rate of his lifestyle is legendary. And in 2026, it seems to be catching up with him. Take his private aviation habits, for example. Mayweather has been linked to the ownership of 2 Gulfstream jets. Even for the ultra-rich, owning 2 private jets is like feeding a cash-eating monster that never gets full. Buying the planes is just the first hit. After that comes the specialized maintenance, hangar fees, insurance, pilots on standby, fuel, and constant inspections. A private jet is not a symbol of money saved. It is a machine designed specifically
Here with sadness today.
to report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, Floyd Money Mayweather. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop.
There are the cars, the most famous part of the Mayweather brand, the all-white fleet in Las Vegas and the all-black fleet in Los Angeles. We are talking about over 100 high-performance vehicles, including a Koenigsegg worth nearly $5 million and Bugattis worth millions more. But in the world of finance, exotic cars are not assets. They are anchors. They lose value the second they leave the lot. They require astronomical specialized upkeep, and the insurance alone for a fleet that size is enough to keep most people awake at night. They look powerful on Instagram, but they are
table. Don't go to the blackjack table. Don't go to the slot machine for crying out loud, even if it's only asking you for $1. Don't do it. Stay the hell out of the casino.
Keep your money. Because as great as you are, I got news for you. You ain't gonna be able to perform like that forever. We all get old.
His spending habits in 2025 and 2026 suggest a man who hasn't learned how to shift gears. There were reports of a same-day buying spree at a Las Vegas dealership where he picked up 4 luxury vehicles for $2.25 million only to end up suing over the transaction later. This doesn't look like calm, strategic wealth management. It looks impulsive and emotionally driven. When you add the cost of the money team, the security, the assistants, the drivers, the logistics experts, and the massive entourage he's carried for decades, the payroll becomes a terminal liability. What feels like normal spending after a $250 million fight feels like a catastrophe.
Most you've ever won in a single bet?
Probably 1.2, 1.3.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right.
What's the most you've ever lost on a bet?
Probably $1 million.
Oh.
Another layer to this story is the psychological side of risk. Floyd Mayweather has never been a man defined by alcohol or substance abuse, but critics have long pointed out that his true addiction is adrenaline. When a fighter steps away from the highest level of competition, that craving for a rush doesn't just vanish, it finds a new home. For Floyd, that home has often been sports betting. His social media has long been a curated highlight reel of massive betting slips and million-dollar wins, creating the image of a man who is casually outsmarting the system every weekend.
You personally believe and feel comfortable in letting you know that Floyd is being held in Dubai. He's being held for debt. He did not pay a debt. In Dubai, they do not take debt as a forgiving measure. In the United States, they do.
Gambling posts are a dangerous illusion. The world sees the winning tickets, but the losing tickets, the ones that cost millions, are buried in the trash. That's why the rumors of massive setbacks, like the reported $10 million loss on the 2014 Super Bowl, hit so hard. There is also the brutal reality of the IRS. Big gambling wins are treated as taxable income at the highest possible bracket, while losses don't always provide the tax relief people think. It's a vicious cycle that can bleed even the deepest pockets dry, especially when your everyday lifestyle is already
even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits, like he hasn't been paying things and he owes money on this and owes money on that, and it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
The rumors grew even darker in 2024 when reports began circulating in combat sports circles that Mayweather had issues leaving Dubai. The whispers suggested there were massive gambling debts involving powerful local figures, while his team pushed back and denied the claims. The mere existence of the rumor was a red flag. Real billionaires with stable cash positions and liquid assets do not get linked to stories about being detained over debts. Whether the rumors were 100% accurate or not, they fed into the growing perception that Floyd was operating in
Mayweather's broke. I said, no. He's like, no, really. Mayweather's broke. Now, I don't know if it's true.
Right.
This is what this guy told me. I'm like, how could he be broke? He's like, yo, he spends like...
The paper trail of his real estate dealings in New York was equally shocking. Despite his public claims of massive real estate holdings, reports surfaced that Floyd was renting a luxury apartment at the Baccarat Hotel for a staggering $100,000 a month. Then came the ultimate embarrassment. His landlord reportedly sued him for eviction after the rent stopped being paid, with arrears climbing over $500,000. He allegedly signed a settlement, made one small payment, and then defaulted again, leading to another claim for $337,000. For a man who calls himself
our fight with my name and likeness to someone else in Dubai for $10 million cash. It's our fight, bro. Our deal was 15%. He smoked me. So I got 15% of it. 15% of $10 million is $1.5 million. That company that paid him that money is suing him. I actually don't know the status on that lawsuit. I should check in because he still owes me money, but he has a bunch of legal trouble at the moment that I don't think I'm ever getting.
The jewelry case in early 2026 added another layer of pressure. A jeweler in Miami, AJ's Jewelry, reportedly filed a lawsuit claiming that Floyd took $1.6 million worth of high-end watches and chains, paid a small deposit, and then issued 5 checks for the balance that all bounced. In the world of high finance, a bounced check is a signal of a total liquidity crisis. These aren't just legal disputes, they are warning flares. When the symbols of your wealth, the watches and the chains, become the subject of lawsuits over unpaid bills, the image of effortless success begins to shatter.
Well, it's more than you want to pay. Yeah, it's in the $20+ million range. It's a lot of money, man. But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception. No, it's just neglect to pay.
There's the Logan Paul situation, which has been a lingering headache for years. Long after their 2021 exhibition, Logan Paul has continued to publicly claim that Mayweather still owes him $1.5 million. Paul alleges that Floyd received a $10 million site fee from the Middle East, but refused to pay out the agreed-upon shares. Whether it's a contractual dispute or something else, the optics are terrible. If $1.5 million, which should be pocket change for a billionaire, is worth years of bad press and public shouting, it suggests that Floyd's company, Mayweather,
Floyd Mayweather, and I'm Floyd Mayweather, and I've joined Heart Radio for the show. Your stripes, okay. I'm Floyd Mayweather, and I've joined Heart Radio for the show. Your Stripes movement to support hiring vets. I'm Floyd Mayweather, and I've joined Heart Radio.
The clearest evidence of his financial pressure might be his history with the IRS. After the historic 2015 Pacquiao fight, the IRS hit Mayweather with a tax lien of about $22.2 million. What was telling wasn't just the size of the debt, but the fact that he reportedly couldn't pay it immediately. He had to wait 2 years for the McGregor fight in 2017 to finally clear the balance. That is the definition of living fight to fight. If you have to step back into a ring and take punches to pay your taxes, you are not a retired businessman. You are an employee of your...
This is a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, nigga, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to. Fuck the bucket of ice, man.
The most painful realization of this 2026 saga is the question of financial supervision. Years ago, the internet made fun of Floyd's reading ability, but behind the jokes was a very real business danger. If a star cannot personally verify, read, and challenge the complex legal documents and accounting spreadsheets that govern a billion-dollar empire, they become entirely dependent on advisors and handlers. In the shark-infested waters of boxing, where money flows through pay-per-view splits, gate revenue, and offshore contracts, that kind of dependence is a recipe for disaster. If you can't read the fine print, you aren't the owner, you're the mark.
Is the lawsuit that Floyd is in with Showtime, and I don't think Al Heyman's a part of the lawsuit, even though he blames Al Heyman in a lot of the lawsuit for stealing his money. We're $340 million. We'll see if anything materializes out of that, or if Floyd just spends more money out of his...
This all comes to a head with that $340 million Showtime lawsuit. Floyd is alleging that insiders helped move massive portions of his earnings into accounts he didn't control, disguising the moves as expenses or payoffs. He even claims that when his new team asked for records, they were told the documents were lost in a flood. If this is true, it means Floyd was being drained from the inside for decades by the people he trusted most. If it's a desperate legal Hail Mary, it means he's out of options. Either way, the Money Mayweather era is ending not with a roar, but with a series of desperate fights to keep a crumbling empire from falling apart. The cost of being Floyd Mayweather, it turns out, was higher than even he could afford.